He turned the car on in the garage, and my fucking horn came through the Bluetooth. I heard Dean Blundell smokes crack. Was actually the first to smoke it with Rob Ford, I heard, too.
What's Dean got to... Give a Dean!
It's rated R for, you know, restricted and for a little bit romantic.
What do we got?
What is that in the background?
What is that over there by the mic?
Is he making wallets?
What is he doing? What's he doing?
It looks like he's... Never mind.
What's he doing? What? Is he dead?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's start right out. Hey, what happened?
Morning, hi everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Dean. Nice to see everybody today. Dun da 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 da. Dun dun. Huh? Da, da,
that was what was his name?
Nardwar?
Much music guy.
Is that Nardwar?
Nardwar, the human serviette. Nice pull. Nice.
He's the greatest researcher ever for interviews. He's really good. We should have him on the show.
Him or Brian Linehan. Remember Linehan?
Is he still doing his? Is Nardwar still around?
Oh,
yeah, Nardwar's still around. Yeah, yeah. Nardwar, the human serviette.
We should get him
Much
on.
music.
He's fun. We could just pretend the research with him. Just make it up.
Yeah.
Wasn't it true that in 6th grade you told Jennifer Maxine that you would be her lover if she would kiss you behind the swing set? And he'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I haven't seen Nardwar for a long time. Anyway, welcome to the show. Good to start with a Nardwar human serviette topic. It's awesome.
How do you know we've been around for too long?
That is Lachlan Cross, 95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton. James DiFiore from blackballmedia.ca. And we're joined by nobody today, which is kind of refreshing. We usually have some guests, but we got some stuff to get to, so we'll get to it. Lots happening. Chris Sky is back. Wants another debate, so we'll get to that. Said he's going to wipe the floor with me this time. Says he wants a real debate with timers and shit.
You know what we should do for a timer? We should get Rookie to make a bat, and it shits seconds. So it's like he has 20 seconds of bat shit.
Just turds. Yeah. So we'll talk about that because he was after me today on Twitter and Karima too. So, and we have a great look into his anti-Semitic, anti-Black history on Facebook. Like a tremendous look. The folks at the anti-hate group of Canada followed me the other day and they said, hey, here's some stuff about Chris Sky you should probably know. Stuff that he's erased. So they sent me a treasure trove of shit. So we'll talk about that today too, which I'm really excited about. Really excited.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
I sort of was hoping that we would be able to get him on and do the whole thing, but man,
he's coming back, dude. He's coming back. He wants to debate us again. I know you don't want to do it, but
have you ever thought that he'd be the perfect plant if you wanted that movement to look crazy? Like he seems
like
more valuable to the
chaos.
left than to the right. Yeah, right. What do they call those people?
That's overthinking it.
Counter intel, whatever it is.
That's overthinking the whole thing. I think he's just crazy. Like I literally just think that he's. And we'll get to some of the tweets this morning.
I don't know if it's that nefarious.
Insane. No,
I'm not saying it is. But wouldn't he be the perfect person?
Oh yeah,
to play that role, right? Like,
yeah. Oh no, you're right. Yeah,
might be. We got politicians to talk about today too, getting naked on Zoom calls again. Here in Canada, we had this dude named Will Amos get totally naked, and the conservative government with their conservative operatives that work for the Toronto Sun, which I don't even believe is a newspaper. They allowed one of their people to publish it because the Toronto Sun is run by friends of Doug Ford. So some illegal shit there too, which I'm really excited to talk about. Like, I don't know why. I would love to see Brian Lilley go to jail. I really would.
I think
or get charged with something because he posted a picture of a naked politician that he was actually working with at the time.
But aren't you only naked when you can see the penis? Like you couldn't see the penis. I'm asking. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know.
No, he's naked, dude. He's totally naked without consent. He was naked. We'll get to the picture. It's fucking crazy.
He's hanging brain.
But there's a really small cell phone in front of him.
I
And it
stole
seems to be
that.
doing the job. Seems to be doing the job.
Yeah, I noticed the cell phone in front of his dick and balls. That was a good
And
job.
and you could,
cell phone.
and it was like a fig leaf.
I think he
right?
did. I think he did it on purpose. I think he's. Yeah, I think he's like, I know that camera's on. I'm going to give I'm going to give
need a
all
new
my
Grindr
colleagues a
profile.
bit of work today.
We'll talk about that, and then we'll also talk about Chris Sky, and then we got puppies to get to. We've got militia training. We got virgins. We got old love. So I think Jamesy missed last show, old love. We've got something for you, bud. But right now I want to talk, and we'll start the show with COVID because we have to. Right, we're here. Doing some research this morning, and I don't know if you guys caught this. As tired as I am of talking about COVID, as fucking exhausted as I am,
It is getting a little too much
in dealing with COVID. Some numbers that I wanted to share for you guys. No, that's not a number. That's a different. That's wrong. That's the bad one. This is the one. Just have a look at this for a second. This is from who cares who the guy's from. And I checked these numbers. At Cage Fund, Texas has 29 million people, no state restrictions, daily cases 2,310, positivity rate 6.5%. Ontario, Canada, half the population, less than half, 14 million people, has been mostly in lockdown since fucking November and a widespread mask use. Daily cases as of today, 4,706. We had 29 people die yesterday. We have 700 people in ICU. We are overrun and making ICU beds in parking lots, in hallways, and at sick kids for adults. Positivity rate, 10% today. 10%. So 10% of people are
That's
getting
the number they warn you about too. That's the one all the health officials are going, we can't get to 10%.
Right. So you want to have a look at the graph. This is where we were in September. As you can see, we kind of had it managed, and then all of a sudden Doug starts fucking around. And he's fucking around, open, close, Christmas time. Ooh, lockdown, boom, comes down because everybody locked down for a month at Christmas. That was a lot of fun, spending all that time inside. And then here we go. Variants of concern. We knew they were coming in and around this little dip here in March. And then boom, here we are now, where caseloads and variants are 95% of all new infections. People are dying at record rates. People are going to be sick for a long time. And I heard a number today, boys. Just opened up a drink. I heard a number today that we won't be out of this lockdown in the province of Ontario, by and large in hotspot areas, which is where we all are in the GTA, for 90 days. 90 days. We will be hunkered down for 90 days. Kids will not be going back to school for at least 30 to 60 days. 30 is low end, high end is 60 days. Businesses, including some of these box stores, including some construction workers, including warehouse workers, I'm hearing next week they are going to, if I'm not mistaken, have to do a hard lockdown that might come next week where you better get your fucking groceries, because that's how serious this is. They're not even going to have grocery stores, by and large, unless they sell just the bare essentials open. Like, everything is getting shut down. That is where we are, thanks to Doug Ford choosing the economy over lives, ladies and gentlemen. And I just wanted to share that with you with a clean mind, an open heart, because I'm fucking angry about it. Like, this is the first day I've actually become angry. Angry because not just the fact that we're here, but the road to health, the road to recovery is at least 3 months away, just to start it.
How are you guys on the vaccination front? Like, are
Glad
you guys?
You asked, Locke.
Are you guys? Is it starting to ramp up? Because it's starting to get a little bit. There's movement here in Alberta.
No, today Toronto shut 4 vaccination clinics down, mass vaccination clinics down, before they opened because they didn't have enough vaccination, didn't have enough vaccines. Yesterday, teachers, there's a story about a teacher that Shauna Hunt from City News put up today, did what I did. She went to go get her vaccine. She was confirmed. It was all good. She gets there. She gets turned away for some unknown reason. Not only do people not know what's happening when they go to get their vaccine, they're getting turned away from getting vaccines, which they have there because they didn't qualify under some fucking weird thing that's at different vaccination centers. From what I understood, Ontario's vaccination centers, York Region, the municipal and provincial vaccination centers, all have different criteria. Not only that, the large majority of them don't have enough vaccines to fill half of their appointments. Half. And so now what we've got is Ford and the rest of his government yelling at Prime Minister Trudeau, rightfully so. However, there's a big thing that now, and people are starting to wonder, are they just opening up these vaccine centers in the province of Ontario to look like they're trying to vaccinate people? Like, is this just kabuki? Is this just bullshit? That's where we're at. We're at the point where vaccination centers not only aren't open, the ones that are open are closing because they don't have vaccines for the appointments that they've already booked. So something like 10,000 people that had appointments yesterday just in the GTA got turned away because they didn't have vaccines. 10,000. 10,000. And we're here. This is I'd love to crack a joke. I'd love to I'd love to sit and scream and yell and call people sea-suckers and D-bags and stuff like that. But we are literally here, and I keep saying the same thing for two reasons. Justin Trudeau, Doug Ford. We are here for two reasons. Justin Trudeau shit the fucking vaccine bed when it came time to procuring vaccines pre-vaccination. Shit the bed. We all know it. Everybody knows it. He said it.
Yeah.
But he's got a smile on his face in these press conferences when he says, it's coming, guys. Don't worry. It's coming. Don't worry. So everybody's supposed to settle down. Doug Ford yesterday. I think Ontario's doing pretty good. Newfoundland offered to send all of their doctors to Toronto yesterday. We have doctors coming in from Smith Falls. We've got doctors coming in from all over the province in areas that aren't as hard.
They need nurses too, big time. Yeah.
They've got nurses coming in from Alberta. We have nurses and doctors coming from the United States, just willingly coming to help. And you know what Doug Ford's done? Said no to half of it. Just like he said no to the Army when they offered to come in and clean up our long-term care homes because he was busy killing our grandparents for profit. And if you can't see the dereliction of duty by this point of Doug Ford and this government, don't give a fuck if they're conservative. I don't care if they're liberal. If you can't see what this man and his group have done to Ontarians by this point, you're willingly ignorant. You don't want to know the truth. That's where we're at. Quick update.
The vaccine thing for me is frustrating because everybody always wants to do the right thing. And I've been saying now for a while, I've been saying, listen, just tell everybody, okay, we're just going to, we got this many doses and we're just going to start hammering it into people. Just come down and line up and just get it. Why do we have to worry about who's getting it first? That's what's happening here. There's so much conversation about behind the scenes about who gets it, who's more important. Everybody needs it. Everybody's going to help grandma out or the overweight guy it doesn't matter. Everybody needs to get it at some point. And there's still the conversation in Alberta about how they're not filling all these appointments because they've got this window and the people that are supposed to come down in that window aren't coming down in droves. And I'm like, well, just then open it up. Open it wide open. Okay, yep. Got 100,000 doses. They're at the Expo Center. Get down here, everybody. Come on, right? And then when they get enough people in the morning, they walk to that end of the line and they go, okay, we got everybody covered. Tomorrow, we're going to have another 15,000 doses. All right? Get here early and just start hammering it into people. Instead, we have to be nice. And I think you mentioned it last week, the socialist healthcare system that we have. And it is, and I'm not complaining about it because we're very lucky to have what we have here in Canada.
Benefits for sure.
It does have its benefits, but I think it's holding us back right now. They are literally just hammering it into people in the United States. Yeah. And they're getting millions of people to, and I know they have more, they have better access down there, but I think we could do a version of that in Canada. It's driving me crazy that I'm hearing daily stories on our end through social media and whatnot that people are like they're there at 8 o'clock at Shoppers, and somebody at the that's administering doses goes, "We're gonna have to throw out 30 doses tonight," and then they're on the phone with their buddies who work at the fire hall to get them down there to get it. It's just
so they don't waste the doses.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I
have no idea why. I didn't have any idea why we would be so beholden to the age groups. And then I read somewhere that it's a data issue. So it's, I wouldn't call it socialism. That's the problem. It's universal healthcare. It's a socialist, program as it is anyways. Right. But the bureaucracy behind it, Ford has 1 million doses in the freezer, and yet vaccine clinics are being shut down. So there's like a bunch of incompetencies happening at the same time. But with the age stuff is that they're afraid that when they collect that data, people's second doses aren't going to be scheduled properly, because you have a 20-year-old going, and then a 60-year-old and a 35-year-old, and you have one guy or maybe 2 or 3 people at each vaccine place trying to manage this data properly. And so it's difficult to sort of manage this when the second dose is going to be in a lot of these cases. But there's no excuse to have 1 million
organized though. No, and dude, let me no offense, because you're right, it's in the millions. The amount of, and I just read this morning, and this is a fact. You can fact check me if you like. Ontario right now has 10 million doses in the freezer. Not 1, 10.
Really? I didn't
10 million fucking doses. No, 10 million. They got 10 million doses in the freezer. And the Ontario government said they had already injected something like 11 million people with their first dose, or 11 million people had been vaccinated. Language is very vague. I don't know if it means they got both or they got one shot. But 10 million doses in the freezer, 11 million doses that have been handed out. I do quick math, right? When it's numbers like that, it's 21 million. Yet only 4% of the population of the entire province has been vaccinated. How the fuck where are they getting 11 million? Like, even the numbers don't make sense. The numbers they're telling us sound like fucking lies. Like, if you can't vaccinate anybody in this province under the age of 50 unless they're severely fucked up right now. Severely fucked up. And they still have 10 million doses in the freezer. Mm-hmm. You fucked over 10,000 people yesterday in the province by turning them away, saying you didn't have vaccines for them. You're telling me you couldn't take 1% of that 10 million and give it to people? You couldn't just take 5% out of the freezer and then say we're opening up a mass vaccination center. We got 40,000 doses today. Come and get it. You can't do that. Like that. How
many people are going to get it twice? I mean, if I get it, I'm not going to go back and go, well, hey, that was fun. Let's go do that again. No, you're gonna you
have to get it twice if you have 2 doses, right? I
realize that, but I'm just saying they're going to tell you at the vaccination center, all right, here's your first one. I mean, and again, I'm no expert, and I understand. I get what James is saying. They're trying to keep track of what they're doing, and maybe that's the bigger issue is the amount of work and the amount of manpower behind the scenes to keep track of who's getting what when.
Well, that just means that they haven't. No, that's okay. Sorry, I'll be quick. That just means they haven't organized properly. That means they haven't done their due diligence. They haven't done their job. Every other province has been able to. We've
only had a year, Dean. Right?
Are you fucking serious?
I'm being sarcastic.
I know you are, but I'm saying it's a general royal we. Are you fucking serious? It's are you guys kidding me? You've had a year to plan this. You've had 3 waves to fucking figure it out, and we're here. You're fucking. A report came out this morning. Dude, I'll just read this to you because we posted a story on it. The story this morning is called, and I quote, "Toronto hospitals are treating severely ill COVID-19 patients in hallways as vaccine clinics close due to vaccine shortages." I'm not making this up. Toronto hospitals are redeploying hundreds of doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers for critically ill COVID-19 patients, with one bringing in physicians from Northern Ontario to keep pace with the ongoing flood of patients in the virus. This is from the Star. Weeks into the third wave, doctors say the number of patients coming to hospitals is accelerating. Many arrive sicker, needing care faster, putting an increased burden on emergency departments already struggling to cope. Some GTA hospitals, this is it, I love this, is treating severely ill COVID-19 patients in the hospital, along with reporting entire families coming into emergency departments needing urgent critical care. Whole families.
Yeah.
And some of those family members got turned away from their shots the other day. Do you know why? I think the postal code might have changed.
Jeez. What?
Do you guys remember the name Vasily Arkhipov from history?
No.
He was that Russian submarine guy, low on the totem pole, who averted a nuclear war by stepping up. Yeah, we need one of those. We need some guy to go into the freezer, grab these doses, distribute them to like places like clinics and Shoppers Drug Mart and places like that, and just an underground vaccination project where people actually get vaccinated. Obviously, I'm kidding, but like, we need someone to fucking upset the fruit basket. I see what you're saying. We need someone.
Yeah. We need someone to say, maybe it's us. Maybe it's us in an old Bud Light semi truck that we pull into some, cold storage warehouse.
Can we pick another brand? I mean, I don't want to take away from my delivery here in Alberta, right?
I'm
going through a 48 pack a week now.
But I'm serious. Like, I'm starting to get to the point where that's got to be next. Like black market fucking vaccines for people that are so tired of waiting in this province. This province is fucked. Like BC's going through a tough time. Quebec's still dealing with some flotsam and jetsam. Alberta struggling, but you're managing, right?
We're sort of bubbling. We've been bubbling, right? Like
Ontario's full lather, dudes. Ontario is fucked. Ontario has a rolling average over the past 7 days of over 4,000 infections. I remember seeing 4,000 a day in New York State, and CNN, Fox, etc., going nuts. They thought the world was going to fucking die. But we're in this boiled frogs reality where they were running out of freezers for dead people in New York. Remember that? They had them piled up in trucks and stuff. Yeah. And they just shoved them in holes on Shutter Island to make it even more creepy. Brutal.
When you put up that tweet at the beginning, and it was saying that, if you could put it up again, that'd be awesome, because it was saying that we've been mostly in lockdown. I don't know how to define not lockdown anymore, but if you would have asked me before this pandemic started, what's a lockdown? I would have said, well, people don't leave their house. And you stay that way for as long as possible. But instead, that's not what it is. So that's never really
telling us to do.
I know, but it's not really a lockdown, because millions of people are still running around because they have to get food, or they're an essential worker, or they're going to travel. So have we ever even really had a lockdown? I agree with Karima. It was like our lockdowns have been half-assed. And the interesting thing is that it feels like a political decision, because it's the people like Chris Sky in our half-assed lockdowns that are saying our liberty is taken away. Imagine if the military hit the street and was just like, you fuckers are going to lock down for 20 days and there's nothing you can do about it.
So they do in China.
I'd love it.
They were literally, if you got a COVID positive test, they would go to your house and they'd fucking nail 2x4s to your door. Well, they were beating the shit out of people, but they were like literally fucking hammering 2x4s over. And Greg has a friend who's teaching English in China, and they were all saying, she put a post on Facebook going, stop with the whole, we're jealous of your freedoms you have in China. She goes, and who's this Grace Life Church thing? She goes, you have no idea what we went through. Mm-hmm. Like, no idea. Search COVID, cops, China, and you'll just get on YouTube, cops in the streets with batons.
You throw the word
beating the shit out of fucking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not, people's ideas of what we're going through in Canada on the extreme side, freedoms and liberties, they have no fucking idea. I offer to move at least once a week. I offer to pack and move, and I don't even help my friends move, but I'll have people that'll complain about Canada, and I'll be over in it this weekend. You want to move? How about you go to fucking the United States or Russia? You know what? You can fucking practice your religion in Russia. No problem.
There's something
I'll come get you.
Like, I know people, and this flies in the face of all the freedom fighters, which is great. But, and I am like, I've always been a freedom fighter, freedom of speech, freedom of whatever you want to do. If you want to smoke your pot, you want to have some, you want to go to church. I don't give a fuck. I think everybody should be allowed to do what they want. But when I go back and look at videos of Chinese drones on the street of Wuhan, bombing people with water balloons to stay in their house, and like Chinese CCP cops beating the shit out of people to stay in their house with bamboo sticks, dragging them out of their houses. And listen, I hate the Communist Party of China. I fucking think what they're doing to the Uyghurs is the grossest shit on the planet. And I fucking have no respect for what they're doing. But when you see how effective
That is.
It fucking works, right? Like I don't want a Chinese, and this is where all the fucking meatheads and the rednecks and the Chris Skies of the world go sideways, is they say stuff like, well, then we're nothing but communist. No. We're a country of fucking laws. And right now there's a pandemic, and our government can't fucking doesn't know where to spit or shine their fucking shoes over how to fix this whole thing. So it would be really nice if somebody in a big green tank rolled down Main Street or Yonge Street with a blowhorn and said, okay, everybody, we're not fucking around anymore because we've killed about 4,000 people this month because we don't know how to do this, because the government doesn't know how to lock down properly, and because your priorities are wrong. That's how I feel. And I could change. What is true yesterday might not be true today. I might change my opinion. I might think, oh, it's a terrible thing. But right now, I think everybody should be forced to get the fucking vaccine. Everybody should. I don't want to be walking around like this anymore. I don't want to fucking do this again.
If we see a tank go down Yonge Street, there is also a good possibility that a small Chinese man with a briefcase will stand in front of it. So there's that.
No, the Tiananmen Square jokes.
What?
No, they don't play, dude. Yeah, well, it's like 30 years ago. No one's.
The visual was there. You saw what I meant. It was a North York thing. Come on,
I guess so. But am I wrong? I'd like to think I'm not. I'd like to listen. I would like to think that everybody would have the wherewithal and the common sense to care about their neighbor and go get this done. Care about the kids and go get it done, instead of caring more about what Tucker Carlson says or that douchehole, Alex Jones.
Listen, or Dean, God is going to protect me.
No, he's not. No, he isn't.
As long as I do my Hail Marys.
Speaking of
Hail Marys,
you don't need violence, though. You don't need violence like in China. What you need is an actual lockdown. That's all. You need to not let people fly on planes. You need to not let essential workers go build homes. You need to just lock it down. A year ago, you and I think we missed it. We thought that they were going to call like an actual emergencies act and a quarantine act all at the same time, and we thought that that's what was going to happen. It's been 15 months. Even the Chris Skies of the world would be over it by now if we had done that at the beginning, right? Yeah, and we didn't. So we just
if we did, dude, we'd be Australia, right? If we did that, we'd be Australia. We'd be out of it. We'd be New Zealand. We'd be having a pot. I'd be at a like a shitty Canadian band show right now with Lachlan watching him get drunk. That's what I'd be. We'd be at an April wine show right now somewhere.
I'll take Trooper. Can we have Trooper? We're here for a good time, not a long time.
April wine, probably one of the guys from BTO. No idea which one.
Is Eric's Trip still playing?
I don't know.
You remember that?
Your references, Waltons, maybe? James.
What? They're a good band.
Eric's Trip. Name me a tune.
I can't.
And I don't even like concerts. Like I would go though because I'm so fucking tired of this.
I love music. I love outdoor live music. I'd be all over. Yeah. All over it.
Anyway, so that's where we're at. Just a quick COVID update for the whole thing. Yeah, I want to talk about Chris Sky because he's back in our lives today. He sent me a tweet. Actually, he sent me about 4,000 tweets today. I'll go through this again. He wants to debate again because it went so well for him the first time. Karima put out a tweet today with a whole bunch of different tweets and DMs from people that had sent her a bunch of hate mail, racist, body shaming, the most disgusting stuff, the most disgusting shit. And it was great because when she put it out, I'm like, fuck, that is awesome content. This will get a ton of clicks. So we put it out. And that's when Chris Sky went ape shit and said, quote, "This trash Karima rules playing the victim because Canadians called her out." That was the one we put out. So I just tweeted back, dude, people stopped giving a shit about you last week because after you got off the podcast, you lost every Instagram follower, every Instagram account he had.
I think we actually helped facilitate that a bit, I think.
I know. As a matter of fact, I know we did. So then he says, yeah, sure, bro. My videos are in dozens of Kubtriism. My voice being broadcast on loudspeakers in cities like Dublin, and here you are afraid of a real debate with timers and no interruptions. Like he's had one of those debates in his entire life with timers and no interruptions. Enough said. No balls, no integrity. Just a pathetic loser on his knees. So I said, I was there for the debate. You were too. Lost everything after. I saw it. We watched it. And then he goes, I want a real debate with a real debate format. Times, engagements, no interruptions. Not 5 people screening over me. calling me names. We never did that because I spit facts you have no answer for. Couldn't understand his facts because his Wi-Fi connection was shit.
Didn't you call him a douche knuckle? I think you called him a douche knuckle.
Did I?
I called him a douchebag. Yeah.
No, I never called him a douchebag. I never called him names.
I called him.
I think you did douche something.
No, James. Douche something. It was douchebag, douche nozzle, douche weed,
douche noggle. That's what it was.
Douche knuckle.
Yeah, I did.
I used douche knuckle, but yeah. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. He had a bad connection. I don't know why he's upset.
Well, he wants to go again. So I said, sure, bud, anytime. No, I want to fucking do it.
Tell him to piss off.
No, I want to
fucking
do it. I want to do it.
That's my stance. Pound sand.
Then he says it again. Debate with timers and rules. Like I already fucking said yes, right?
Yeah.
I said yes. And then he says 100% chance you decline and make an excuse. And I don't know what that is. I said, I already said yes. Relax, Conspiracy Bob.
Was that the last?
I love how you say relax, and then you say something that's designed to make him not relax.
Yeah, I know. I love it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Is if you want to kill someone with kindness, you slip a little dig in at the end, so they're like, "Oh, he's not getting there." And go, "Fuck, he's got me again."
It works.
He said,
"I love hanging out with you."
Oh, got me again,
douchebag. Yeah.
So should we do it or not? That's
You're
the question.
Guest,
okay, if I get a vote, which I would be okay if you said no, you don't get a vote lock, but I don't think we give him another platform. I think we do more damage to his psyche and his stance by not putting him on, because if we do put him on, I think he's just going to try to stunt again. I think there's a 50-50 chance that what he did last week when we were trying to get him on was on purpose. It was pointless. I think we got a good dose of the fact that he's not going to come on and actually try to have a reasonable conversation. And the sad part about it, and I've said this in numerous tweets that I've been involved in with this whole Chris Guy thing, is that this format, out of any media format available to him, if he had any option, and all options, would be the best for him to actually present a point, have something intelligent to say, and even if we don't agree with him, he would be able to talk about it with us. And we did it with Randy, and Randy came off better than he does in most situations.
Randy, although crazy like him, is a little more, which is hard to say. He's a little more cultured than him. Like I think Randy is capable of a two-way conversation. What comes back from him is sheer lunacy.
Well,
but
and Randy is also smarter to keep his like complete fucking lunatic opinions to himself, right?
Right.
So when you try to get the religious stuff out of him, he was just like, nope, not going there, because he knows how it makes him look, and he knows how hypocritical.
Right. Yeah, he
knows.
And he doesn't want to.
But Randy's not crazy. He's just constantly trying to find the shit that fulfills his narrative. You know, he's like any other ideologue. He's not crazy though. Like Chris Guy's crazy. I would say, I'm always the big proponent, excuse me, that sunlight is the best disinfectant. And if I agreed, which I did to the first time having him on, and that didn't work, I'd feel like a hypocrite if I said, okay, let's not have him on now, if it didn't work. It didn't work. So I think we actually owe it to him to have it on because it didn't work. I don't mean, and that could be any guest. It's not just because it's Chris Guy. It could be any guest.
Okay, well, I refuse not to call him a fucking idiot. Okay, if he's on, I refuse to. Because we were all talked about it beforehand. Try not to call him names and all that. If he's being a fucking tool,
I'm an idiot when he's actually acting like an idiot. It shouldn't take long.
Oh, why don't you
just wait until he's on the show and he starts acting like an idiot.
Yeah, wait till you get some idiocy evidence and then hit him with the idiocy evidence, and then you can call him a fucking idiot. Because I think this is easy. Like I think this debate is easily done. I really do. Because
if he agrees to come on with a decent connection, and actually let us speak.
Well, we should test it all beforehand, I guess, right?
Yeah, we should. But I think it's really simple. I think we have one person moderate. I think that person is Jamesy. I think that he gives us time, and we allow him to say whatever the fuck he wants, because he's in a corner, dude. Like he's got nowhere to go. And I'm not doing this as a favor for him, because I think generally speaking, the people that listen to this or watch these shows or identify with some of the things that we talk about already know that he's a sideshow. Like they already know he's a circus on a screen, right? So it's not like our listeners or our fans, if you want to call them that, are going to be dissuaded to go get a vaccine by listening to this chump. So for me, it's just entertainment. Like, get him to identify what communism is. I would love to, for James to go, okay, everybody, time for word definition. Communism. What is it? I'd love to hear his definition of it because he calls everybody a fucking communist.
He has
no idea.
What I'll probably try to do is, like, in all honesty, is that when he starts going off and doing his bullet point thing, I'll probably just be like, let's cover all your points, but let's do it one at a time. So what do you mean when you say we're turned into a communist country? Because that was the first out of the 8 points you just said in 6
But
seconds.
if you start asking him for a definition of communism, this is just coming from, Dean said that.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the right way to go.
Just
Then it feels like you're trying to make fun of him, right? You're trying
to
get a gotcha question.
Yeah,
he's going to do that all himself. Rocco Rossi,
coming from a dumb guy.
When I ran for mayor once in Toronto, and I got to debate Rob Ford, George Smitherman, that little Italian guy, I forget what his name was, and Rocco Rossi, and Rob Ford starts talking. We're in the AGO, and I was sitting beside Rob, and when he started talking, the crowd started booing, and Rocco Rossi said the greatest line ever. He's like, it's really just better to let him talk. And it was perfect, and it was well delivered, and I think that concept applies.
Totally. That's why I said to him when we were trying to do the first debate, I was like, so what are you all about? Tell us what you're all about. And all I got was like digital air, right? Like his connection was shit and he was in his car at A&W.
He just started yelling. I mean, it was stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. I don't mind if he yells, right? Because I think we gotta be smart enough to allow people to yell and then listen to the idiocy in between the screams. What's that?
I think we'll smooth it over backstage for 10 minutes before the podcast starts. I think we'll be like, this is the setup. We're going to give you equal time. James is going to moderate. Lachlan's going to call you an idiot once in a while, and we're going to have a good show, right?
Or even better yet, because he seems to, like, based on his tweets, he seems to think that we are going to gang up on him. Maybe I don't jump in for that section of it, and then you guys go.
Wait till you're ready to just fucking snap.
No, I don't know if that's
not
the
going
right.
to be able to make it. I don't think, Lachlan. You're going to be too tempted.
What's the over under?
18 minutes will go by, and we're just going to flash to you, and you're going to be like, there's going to be 5 empty beer cans beside you. You're just going to be ready to
just
rage.
stewing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're just going to hear, "You're a fucking idiot."
I don't have any debate skills.
It'll be all quiet. Okay, over to Lachlan. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, he's having a Tourette's episode.
I have always lived by the rule that the smartest guy in the room is the loudest.
Then Chris Sky is going to be the smartest guy in the room tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I got to say. So part of this whole thing is that there are a bunch of people who have kind of glommed on to the Chris Sky business, right? So one of the groups that is glommed on, and I'm glad they have, is the Anti-Defamation, Anti-Hate League of Canada. So they sent me a couple of, like, this is who we're dealing with, by the way. That's why I wanted to put this up. They sent, and there's a treasure. I've got hundreds of these Facebook posts from Chris Sky, hundreds of DMs, hundreds of emails talking about different races. I just want to show you 2 of them. Just 2, just so you can see this is the kind of guy. This is who we're talking to.
We only need 2 to prove he's a complete racist?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what you're saying.
1.
So
really.
Here you go. It's from February 2019, not that long ago. I get banned for saying Muslims and child rape go together like burgers and fries.
Jesus.
I can't.
I hate.
Even if he believes this, this is a terrible thing to write. Like, even if most racists have the ability to go, you know what, I'm going to lose my job if I put that up. I got to keep my racism light and keep it behind these walls of my brain. Not him. Well, he then goes on to say, this Muslim literally says he will murder all non-Muslims. Facebook said it doesn't go against their community guidelines. Enough said.
Even though the content's not available. So apparently it did go against their community guidelines.
Let's not stop there. This is from not too long ago. He talks about racial differences, big ones. We're not the same and we're not equal. We have strengths and weaknesses. Absolutely hilarious. No one would ever dare argue the black race is by far the most athletic. Okay, Jimmy the Greek. On average, they can run faster, jump higher, prove 13% of the population, yet over 75% of the NFL, NBA. We're all the Chinese, Korean NBA, NFL stars. What gives? He says. He then goes on to say a whole bunch of other shit about Asian people. And at the end, and I thought this was interesting, the problem for black people, the more civilized we become, the less physical traits matter in the world. Intellect matters. This is why advanced black society does not exist. What a fucking guy. Huh? Like if Chris Sky ever says he's not racist in any of his posts, feel free to DM me.
Do you know why they say that about
I'm happy to send you one of hundreds of examples of him being racist. Sorry, James, you go ahead.
The reason why they say that about the Muslim and the child rape thing is because Muhammad's wife was 9. And so if you believe in that faith, you have to accept that.
Context of our time.
I know. I'm not saying, listen, I haven't really, I don't know. Probably was child rape when Muhammad did it, but I don't really know. Like, 100%. You know, God's dad or Jesus' dad fucking did genocide and condoned slavery and rape. So, like, I don't
think it matters what color your skin is. I think you can do horrible things, right?
Of course,
like,
of course.
And there's examples of it in history and nowadays where it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
it's a human trait.
He's just doing this shit. He's doing this shit just to get everybo's to get
I thought that.
attention.
I thought that, but then I've settled on the fact that you are racists are stupid. It's science, right? To be racist, and generally speaking, people who look at their race as a better race have lower IQs than those who are more accepting of people's skin tones. It's a fact. It's a fact. Same thing with extremists. They're technically significantly lower on the IQ scale than those of us who don't have hatred that burns piss holes in the snow. That's just who we are, right? As people. So unfortunately for guys like Chris, science dictates the fact that he's really not a very bright person. So he has the inability to critically think. Therefore, it's a good idea for people like him to put that stuff up. And then all the other people out there that are too stupid to go and find, a different group of people to hang out with, they glom on, and that's when people like Karima get hit with 10,000 hate tweets making fun of her race and her weight. So you can't take them seriously. That's my point, which is why I'm excited for the debate, because as James pointed out, the best thing for us to do is allow him to do that right here.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't care about views. Remember that email that he sent you where it was like, dude, we're going to get like so many views, like 250,000 views, or it's going to be great, man. And it was like, okay, well, that's who you're dealing with, right? Like, we don't care about views. I don't give a shit if 6 people watch or 600,000 people watch. Part of me does, but I would never have him on for that reason. I just want to have him on because we gave him our word that we give him a platform for a second to explain his crackpot views. And I think we should follow through on that. That's all.
I do too. I do too. And I'm excited to do it. Someone sent me an email last week. They're like, "Aren't you scared to talk to him?" I'm like, "What?" And it was from a mainstream media source. And nice lady, I'm not going to give your name, but they're not allowed to interview him. And what was worse is she said, and I quote, "I'm physically afraid to talk to anybody like that. And generally speaking, mainstream media outlets." Hang on a second. I got this right here. Generally speaking, mainstream media outlets won't deal with him because they're afraid of upsetting people who believe what he believes as well. So it's left up.
I don't think he does.
It's up to us, fellas. It is.
Are we worried about that? Does that dictate content? I don't think it should.
It doesn't to me.
I don't even believe her. I think she'd be more worried about the woke left being like, "How would you have that guy? How could you give that guy a platform?" I think they're more.
Yeah, I think they're more worried about that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't care. That's the great part. Is none of
us.
Why worry?
Why worry about anything?
Exactly, it's ours.
Well, I mean, we've had some extremes on this show. I mean, we had Nathaniel, who, and I'm not saying he's an extremist, but I'm just saying he has, comparatively speaking to Chris Sky, a rather extreme standpoint in life.
Like, I don't think Chris Sky is vegan. I don't know.
Well, do you guys remember Mahmoud Ahmadinejad? I said it right.
I think. The Iranian prime minister. Yeah.
So Columbia University in New York, probably the most left-wing university in at least the Eastern United States. Is
Columbia very left?
Yeah, very much.
I did not know that.
He was elected to, not elected. He was invited to speak there. you know, in the height of like, it was like 2005 maybe or something like that. I could be wrong, but it was around that time. The Iraq War had just started, not too long before that, and it was controversial. But their purpose to have him there was to say, okay, this batshit guy is like a power broker in the world, and he has ideas. Isn't it better to know what his ideas are, or what he claims his ideas are, than to just get it through the filter of the media? And of course it is. You know, like, even if he's saying a bunch of things that aren't true, time will reveal that he was lying. Like, but at least you get to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? And now the same people that would have supported it back then are saying that you shouldn't give people like Chris Guy a platform, because why would you ever give a crackpot a platform?
No, the reason why I'm saying we shouldn't is because it's not going to be productive. We already gave him an opportunity. He fucked it up. And I don't think we should give him another, because I totally agree with you. I think we should have everybody on. I don't think we should say no to anybody. We should have Aaron O'Toole on and Jordan Peterson. We should, whoever we can coax in to have a conversation with us. I'm in. But I just don't think that the Chris Sky thing is productive, even from an entertainment perspective, based on what we've already seen from him. He's just using it as a stunt. Most
maybe we
people
shouldn't do it live. Maybe we should tape it and not do it live, so that if fuck ups happen again,
no way, dude. No way, because you know what? You know what'll happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. What'll happen is they'll tell everybody that we edited the whole thing.
Yeah.
We can't do a debate with him that's recorded. So because we can't have any flies on us, right? Because he started doing it anyway. Like today, he's like, "You won't show up." I'm like, "Fuck! I already said yes twice, you dummy."
Well, he even did it right as soon as he got off last time.
Yeah.
He was like, they wouldn't let me talk. Your connection was, everybody on this panel was sitting there. All right, but your connection's not good, but try. And we literally tried for like 15 minutes to let this jackass talk. And it just, anyway.
It was awesome. Got a ton of traffic. People loved it.
I loved your apology tweet. I loved your apology tweet to A&W. That was hilarious.
I didn't do that one. That wasn't me. First of all, and the last thing I want to say is, James, how dare you refer to this guy as a power broker? Sorry, not a power broker.
No. I referred to the Iranian president as a power broker.
Yeah, but then you were saying we should have him on because they listened to that guy because he was a power broker. This guy's not a power broker.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I agree. That guy's not a power broker for sure.
For like Rahipnol.
He looks like if The Rock had a wiper, that would be him.
I want to get to another story, and I do want to change the subject because we had a bit of a heater here today and last night. Politics is not for the weak of heart right now. Yesterday, a Liberal MP named Will Amos, no idea who he is, was on an official parliamentary Zoom call.
He's a member of Parliament.
So Will Amos was on a parliamentary call, left his Zoom on, went for a jog, came back, got changed in front of the camera, which he didn't turn off. Okay? He's fully nude. Some conservative MP takes a screen grab of it, which is highly illegal because the guy's naked. They're at fucking work. He doesn't know he's even on the camera. So first of all, you're an idiot, by the way, Will Amos. You might be a nice guy. You're an idiot if you choose in the Zoom age to be naked in front of your computer.
It's been a year.
At any point in time.
Okay? We're all very familiar with Zoom.
Yeah.
Right? There shouldn't be any more Zoom dick episodes.
No, but there was
twice to get out. That's the problem. People think you left and you just clicked once, and then they're like,
click two times.
There's no excuses.
There isn't. So a conservative member of parliament who was in that meeting saw Mr. Amos naked, decided to take a screen grab of it and send it to a Toronto Sun reporter named Brian Lilley.
And they ran it, eh?
Well, it gets better. Who is currently banging Doug Ford's press secretary?
Are we sure about that, or is this another Taylor Hall's of brony?
No, it's James. I can say that, right? It's 100% true. They live together. Yeah.
But bang would be the appropriate innuendo slang term for what they're
banging.
doing. Sure. Banging. Sure.
Banging. He's on the inside. He's on the inside.
Literally on the inside. Yeah.
So Brian chooses, in his infinite wisdom, because he's an operative for Doug Ford and the conservative government, which is really what the Toronto Sun is. It's not even a fucking newspaper. It's just like a conservative pamphlet that comes out every day. That's pretty much all it is. So he posts this. Anyone recognize MP wandering out of the buff in their office while taking part in the hybrid parliament? Obviously, given the flag, they're from Quebec. Wonder what kind of mobile phone he uses. So at this time, Brian Lilley, who's widely regarded as just a piece of shit, says he's
is that just a rumor?
No, it's
or is he actually a piece of shit?
No, he's a piece of shit.
Okay.
So, well, he'd have to do this to a guy, right? So he knows who Will Amos is. He knows that's him naked. He knows he got this picture sent to him by a conservative MP who was in the meeting because conservatives and liberals fucking hate each other because they're idiots and they can't think on their own. So then Brian's like, so it is Will Amos. He has admitted to it, as I detail in my story that is about to be posted. Pants are not mentioned in the parliamentary dress code. Bet they never thought they had to be written down.
Funny enough, that's exactly what
exactly
what Brian Lilley looks like when he gets most of his scoops.
Naked?
Yeah. Thanks, honey. Because he wrote a tweet. He wrote a tweet today that said, "Here are a few more things that I am hearing up for discussions at the cabinet with Ford Nation tomorrow." It's like, come on, things I am hearing. Like,
yeah,
you know,
can you believe that shit is happening in this fucking country? That people are taking screen grabs of their like federal politician colleagues.
I would
post.
Yeah.
Right away. I'd be scrambling for my phone. I wouldn't be able to get my phone quick enough. Oh, look at Amos. Amos from Pontiac. He's got his dick out.
You notice too, he's got his cell phone in his hand in front of his dick, neatly placed.
That's because it was a video. That's because it was a video at first, and then they took a screen grab from the video that they took so that the cell phone would hide the dick in the screen grab.
Okay, so that was the conservative guy who leaked the picture not being a full pervert.
That was him being tasteful. It is kind of full Monty-ish. It does have a kind of funny vibe to it, but
dudes,
what was he doing? Like what? The only thing I read is he was coming in from a run. Was he like, so he was just gearing down to get his suit on?
Yeah, there was no masturbation. There wasn't playing with his dick. He wasn't doing the old
little baby powder.
He wasn't doing the goat wing or the bat wing. He wasn't doing the goat. He wasn't doing
wristwatch,
the brain, the wristwatch, the burger, the sailboat. He wasn't doing any of that with his scrotum. He wasn't doing
the hedgehog. Was he doing the hedgehog?
No hedgehog. But what I did was went and found a buddy of mine. He's a lawyer. I won't tell you who he is. So he said the bigger issue for the Speaker of the House is to determine why a member or MP took a screen grab of the pic and shared it publicly. This would seem to be a violation of House rules. Also, given the context, would come with other legal questions. Section 162, whatever one of the Criminal Code deals with distribution, making available persons' naked picture without consent. Given the ban on pictures in the House of Commons, so there's a ban. So there's that ban on pictures in the House of Commons. And
I don't know, man.
Off camera, except to staff and MPs, I can't. How this would be considered consensual?
Yeah, but if you gear down on Zoom, that's your problem, man. Like everybody in the country was talking about that today.
But shouldn't you have a little decorum as someone who's in that meeting, or no? No decorum, just go for it. Again.
If James shows up naked on this pod, I am taking a picture. Yeah, at some point, a fistful of mushrooms, and he's gonna bring the squirrel out,
Right.
and we're gonna get to see little Jimmy and little James.
Little Jimmy. My dick also has a Napoleonic complex.
Have you ever though? Like I was just thinking about this. I know we went for a jog. And I agree with Locke on part of this, right? Like absolute moron move in the Zoom age to get completely naked in front of your camera while you're at work. Like, let's get fucking serious here. If I went for a jog and came back, which by the way, that was his first mistake, going for a fucking jog. No one jogs. Jogging's for idiots.
What are you doing?
It's so stupid. He could have just done some push-ups and some of the other shit and kept his clothes on. But you don't like. I don't know anybody that goes for a jog at work and gets completely fucking naked in their office to get back in their clothes.
Well,
don't know,
he
but
might have
that's
been
when I
doing a little
first
wind drive.
When I first
he
saw it,
might have
I thought drugs were involved, and I'm not being funny.
No.
I literally like, because if you're in your office
No.
and you're naked and you're walking around with your cell phone, maybe you're fucking high, right?
Yeah.
Seriously,
No.
maybe you're-
He was
Okay.
trying
Well,
to
if
get
it
a
was
little
me,
air
I
on
would
his
be
junk.
that was high.
He ran 5K, 4K, whatever. He got his run in, and he wanted his balls dry before he sat down and took office. Guaranteed. That's why I asked if he had any baby powder.
Yeah.
Because if there was a little motion like this and a little he was trying to get his balls dry.
It's where you go
right?
like this with your junk,
You
right? Your
sit-
balls back and
you
forth,
throw
and then the
a
powder
pair of-
kind of collects. Yeah.
You throw a pair of nylon pants on after you've been sweating. You know, you've been sweating your shorts. You're gonna have a rash in your taint in like literally half an hour.
So
I'm
what you
telling
think? What you think is that the dude was just being he was taking care of hygiene business down there. He was making sure he didn't get any funk.
Absolute. I bet.
But I'm
Either
saying,
that-
Locke, most people wait till they get home to do that, or they will do it in a bathroom. They don't do it in their fucking office in the middle of a workday while meetings are going on all the time on their computer, non-fucking stop. I was reading today about Zoom fatigue. 49% of people that are on Zoom have something called Zoom fatigue, which is just a fancy way of saying you're an entitled pussy who doesn't get how good you have it because you get to work from home. So
my wife works from home and has been for a year, and she's getting Zoom fatigue, if that's what it is.
Talk to her because I think that's weak.
Yeah, I know. Listen, and she's lucky that we're lucky that we both have our jobs, so we look at it that way. I mean, she doesn't complain about it, but I know that she would die for like a meeting in a boardroom with some donuts in the corner, right, and a cup of coffee. I think she would kill for that. Yeah. There's worse things in life.
First world fatigue, I think. But also, I don't know how you define naked. I really don't, because I thought
he had his cock and balls right out.
No, he didn't. He had a cell phone. No, hold on a second. Like, I'm serious. I would like to get a lawyer on to be like, okay.
Oh, so technically speaking. Yeah,
is the definition of naked when you can actually see the cock and balls, or if you just know they're behind the cell phone? That's what I'm wondering. I don't know the answer to that.
It's a great question, because is there a video? Did someone?
And what if it was a woman?
Video.
And what if it was a woman?
We
already know the person that took the picture. If it was a woman, for sure.
We should go through a list of female MPs who we wouldn't want to catch.
Is that the picture that went into the newspaper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what legally they have to look at, is what James is saying.
Yeah, big time.
Right? Yeah, but they did kind of pick a frame, like James is saying. They picked a frame where he had his junk covered, so he might. It's still pretty. Like, there's a lot of skin going on there, right?
I can't make out any cock or balls. Is all I'm saying.
He will not sue. He won't sue.
This guy, dude, he apologized today because I wrote a story on this yesterday when it happened. Like, I'm waiting for the first tweet from this guy to say, I had no idea my camera's on. Sure enough, about 10 minutes later, a new tweet comes out. Will Amos, I'm very sorry. Didn't know my camera's on. Went for a jog. Got changed. This will not happen again.
Will Amos will not sue anybody for that picture leaking.
He doesn't look bad. It's, if this is me and I don't look like that naked, I'm not upset.
I look a little bit like that naked.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't have a gut anymore. So
spindly.
He looks like he's got a six-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a six-pack. If I flex really hard and then stretch out my fat a little bit, I have a six-pack. Like, you can make out that the muscles are there. You're like, oh, there they are. They're right there. Yeah.
They're underneath everything.
Yeah, but you can still make them out. When I'm on shrooms, I feel like I'm He-Man. I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucking got six-pack. And my wife's like, what are you doing? It's like, nothing.
I'm on shrooms.
Yeah.
Why are you on shrooms? It's Tuesday at 1.
That's why I'm on shrooms.
Guys, I want to. We'll keep it quick today. I want to just quick shout out to Rachel Homan. We got two things to do before we go today. Rachel Homan, she's a curler, won Canada's best. I don't know if you watched the Scotty Tournament of Hearts. It happened.
My wife's a huge fan of Rachel.
6 weeks ago, she competed, almost won, 8 months pregnant. Competed, 8 months pregnant. On the March 25th, she had a baby boy. healthy. Everything's good. 3 weeks later, this is her. She's fucking curling again.
Mhm.
In 46 days, she went from being 8 months pregnant, giving birth, back to the rink.
She's Team Canada, right?
Yeah. Men
Yeah. Okay.
are pussies. We are the weakest of the sexes by far. If I had, I don't know, a broken toe, I'd drag that out for 2 months.
Yep.
If I had gout, I'd get a wheelchair.
Yep.
That's if I had the flu, I play it up like I might die and everybody needs to get me stuff. That woman went and had a baby a month after she competed in a world-class curling event and came back to curl 46 days later.
If I had a huge hemorrhoid, I wouldn't curl.
I think that it is a sign of strength. I just want to point out that Razor Ruddock broke his jaw in the 4th round against Mike Tyson and boxed another 8 rounds with a broken jaw. So there's some stories out there, you know?
Yeah, but that's not
there's
the
there's a handful of male lunatics, but most of us are raging pussies, is what Dean is saying.
Yeah.
What if
I'm
you
a
find out
raging
that
pussy.
being 8 months pregnant when you curl adds some sort of advantage?
I'm sure it doesn't.
Some balance advantage, you know?
Have you
I've
curled?
I've never curled.
Okay,
no, I have no
it is not. It is it's a wildly difficult sport.
It's shuffleboard. Shuffleboard with brooms.
Fuck
Not
that.
hard. I've curled.
Come to Edmonton. We'll get a rink ready for you.
I would love to.
Curling
go.
is
You will not.
Curling is the only reason Albertans who don't curl professionally, or people in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, where it's huge, the only reason people do in rural areas is to get together to get blasted drunk. That's it. That's
It's
all
a
curling
great
is.
sport. You can drink. You can curl with a drink in your hand.
That's why I said it's basically shuffleboard on ice. That's all it is.
Yeah,
if
but
you
I'm
can
telling
drink
you
when you
right
play
now.
this, if you can drink when you play, it's not really a sport.
Oh yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, it's a total sport.
Isn't it like one of those ancient sport that the Scots played when they were drunk? It was like a celebratory game of throwing rocks around. You know,
Scots do everything drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
they even do.
Shut up, you
They
fool,
do
I'm drunk.
open heart surgery drunk over in Scotland. Yeah, they put it on their hands and then they put it in their mouth and then they go fucking do surgery in
Give
Scotland.
a little sprinkle inside Sam just to make sure.
But I am amazed.
Good for her.
Holman. Yeah, isn't that incredible?
She's great.
That is great.
You know what? The other thing to do is feign a mild interest in curling too. If your wife or significant other is into it, because then you get to watch it with her, and there is some smoke shows. I don't know what the hell happened to curling, but something happened in the last 10, 15 years. Female curlers are drop dead. All of them, without fail. Every team is full of just rockets, and they got great bodies on them too.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad sport to watch. If your wife, like my wife, is into curling, I'll pay attention, you know?
Yeah. And every one of them is wearing Lululemons. So it's, and a lot of them have turned into athletes. Like, it's not 40 years ago where you had fat guys sucking darts and big girls throwing rocks. Like, it's very different. These people are athletes. Curlers are incredible athletes, and female curlers, getting to the toughness, getting to how cool this sport is or can be. For professionals, it's incredible to watch, right? I joke around when I say, "Oh, it's shuffleboard, big deal," right? But for us, that's what it is. But these women are fucking unbelievable at it. Like, incredible.
It's fun too. It's so much fun.
I think it's great that we're eclectic enough to be able to say, "Wow, what a performance! Damn, are they ever hot?" We just tackled the full gauntlet of what it means to be a curling fan, right?
Locke is trying to sell curling to the average male.
Dude, you don't need to sell it to me. You're allowed to drink. The women are hot, and I'm in. Like, I fill in every once in a while because my wife will play on like mixed teams as well. So I'm always like the spare, and every once in a blue moon I'll go. And they always, I don't know this for sure, but I tell people this. They always let the best curler throw the first rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always the lead, and it drives my fucking wife insane because I look like I got a head injury coming out of the fucking hack, but I don't look good doing anything. But I'll come out of the hack 100 miles an hour I'll fall, do a roll, and then the rock will like end up in the
Draw to the
exactly where it's supposed to.
And then you go back and you down your Coors Light or your Bud Light, and then the lady.
Then I crush a beer can on my fucking head.
Yeah, great sport.
Yeah.
Great sport.
I just summed up curling for Locke for you guys.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
James, come out next winter.
I will.
We'll go curling.
Curling rocks with Locke. I'm looking forward to it.
You'll hate it.
No, I won't. I was an athlete when I was young. I really was. I was a good baseball player. I played rep for like 7 years, 8 years, something like that. I played football for my high school. Did a bunch of that shit. I enjoy sports.
You'd probably be good at it.
That's why I never did curling. I just didn't see it as a sport because there was no cardio element to it. That's all. I have always associated sports with some sort of, you get tired afterwards. You know, I guess golf is.
I think you're tired after curling. It's a lot of stretching, a lot of moving, a lot of and a lot of sweeping. You hear the scream hard, very hard.
I'm sure it'd be fun once you get into it. I'm sure it'd be great.
It's a great sport.
I've just never played it.
Only if you're drunk or high. If you're doing it,
it would be neat being on shrooms playing curling. That'd be
incredible. Maybe we
and I'd like to go hurry hard in the context that had nothing to do with the bedroom.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Waiting for it. Couldn't stop sexualizing.
Oh, by the way, we might have a conflict. I think Jeff Woods is having a really big contest on Friday at 5, just to let you know. Yeah. The winner of the subscription hats, I think, something like that.
Really?
Yeah. But still, that's going to be a fun one. Are you going to tell people about that before we go today? But just to remind them what's happening tomorrow?
Why don't you? Because you're at it. Might as well.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting show tomorrow because is Jeff Woods, is he coming on?
Yep. 3 p.m. No, 5 p.m. I think, right? Are you 5 p.m.? Do we need to do you at 5 or 4?
Yeah, please. 5
p.m. Yeah, sure.
We'll figure it
out. Lock. I can't speak for
so
Lock.
3 p.m. my time. You guys are 2 hours ahead of me. Yeah. Okay. I'm good for 3.
We have all submitted a excerpt or whatever you want to call it, a paragraph, a story, erotic tales, porn writing. I would call it erotic tales. And Jeff's going to read them. And I guess the audience is going to try to figure out who wrote what. It's going to be hilarious, guys. Come on. It's going to be
You do know that the last time we did this with Jeff, YouTube removed it because it was too dirty.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
mine's not that bad. Mine's not that bad. Mine yeah.
So I'm just I don't care if YouTube removes anything. Doesn't matter to me.
Well, define bad. If it's consensual, it can never be bad. But it was it'll be banned.
Is there a ferret in your story?
Not anymore. I took him out because I wanted YouTube to keep it online.
Is there a roll of toilet paper with an open-ended sock and a ferret in your story?
No.
Okay.
No. Not anymore.
Dutch clogs?
No.
Is it going to give me nightmares?
It's not going to give you nightmares. What it's going to do is challenge your definition of what could be consensual to which partner. It's going to do that. But by the end, you're going to be like, clever.
Okay. You did all that. You did all that.
It's not that dirty at all. It's not that dirty at all, to be honest.
Hope your story doesn't get too sexual assaulty.
Oh, no. You can't. Okay. It can't be sexual assault if it's consensual, right?
I never used to worry about this stuff until I owned it.
I feel like if I was single, I'd have to sign contracts with women these days.
I never used to worry about this stuff until I started jumping on a pod with James.
How else will you feel like you've just taken it up the ass, Lachlan?
Yeah, I'm legitimately concerned for your story. I know what's in mine, and mine's awesome. Might make some people horny. I don't know. Make you hungry for sure.
The worst word in my story is the word throat. You know, it's fine, guys. It's gonna be fine.
Throat. Is the word load in your story as well?
It isn't.
Good.
It doesn't get that far. Sure. You know? There's no crescendo or anything.
Jesus Christ.
Does noose appear in your story?
The only problem I had is that I didn't know how to spell.
Jesus Christ.
It's true. So I
did a nice one. Like I legitimately tried to make mine like something that was, pornish, but also.
Okay, tell us nice. Tell us about the nice, sexy tale.
No.
I'm just talking about it. No. I don't mean tell me now. I mean, yes, you wanted it to be nice. Turquoise Speedo nice, or like.
Okay, that was an attempt. That was attempt at nice.
But it was very funny.
I wasn't tied to the bed with something being hammered up my bunghole and
Jesus Christ, who's doing that? Is that Dean? Is that your story?
No, I don't have any of that.
I am just trying to imagine what we're going to get from you, James.
Yeah.
You're going to let him down. You're overselling it. You're overhyping it. It's going to be a lot less dirty than people think now. You know.
Okay.
So,
All right.
It's called meat hook. Just kidding. But the story has nothing to do with the title. It's fucking weird. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's James' horny story titled
Meat
Hook.
Meat Hook. I'm James. I'm Jeff Woods. This one's titled Meat Hook.
You know what might be funny too is if we read our own afterwards.
We should narrate each other's, actually.
No, I don't know if I'll be able to get through mine.
Yeah, but I want you to read it in front of Deborah. Is she at home tomorrow?
I am not fucking doing that.
Why not?
No.
Wait a second. Oh
You're
my
the
God,
only
this
one
guy-
that has a wife who will like play around with this whole thing. I guarantee you James's wife isn't, because she's probably working or driving him around. So
dude, I don't want to tell you what happened this morning in my house, but you would take
Cleaning
that
the
back
gag
immediately.
ball.
Oh, did you get it in?
Listen, things are looking up. It's all coming up
boy.
Jamesy lately. Yeah.
It's all coming up, Jamesy. All right. Well, let's end on
Even
that.
she's
James
coming
got
up a
laid.
little, Jamesy.
Congratulations. Yeah, good for her. All right. So tomorrow we've got Jeff Woods on. We've got our erotic stories. He's going to judge them and read them for you. That'll be a lot of fun. We didn't get to the new sex guidelines for COVID. We'll do that tomorrow as well.
Save that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anything about glory holes in there?
Yes, there is, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
New sex guidelines, because we're back in lockdown. They came out today. Very funny. Very funny. Support local glory holes. Go to 957cruisefm.com, right? You can buy yourself a shirt there.
Yeah, that's our new T-shirt.
Awesome.
Oh my God, Dean, what is our underwear sponsor again?
Gitch, Ed's Fine
Gitch.
Imports.
Send some Gitch to Amos. Just send him some Gitch. You know, some
Will
Gitch
Amos?
swag. Yeah.
It's too bad he wasn't bending over in that video. We could have called him Will Anus.
All right.
Dad joke. No?
It was okay. It was a little.
Will,
it was
guys.
little
Will
weak.
Anus. There you go.
Tra-la-la-la-la, dude.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow with Jeff Woods. We'll get to your sex guidelines with COVID. Hopefully, some people get vaccinated between now and then. Try and stay safe. Lachlan Cross, 95.7 Cruise FM. Appreciate you being here, brother. At
Thank you for having me. That was fun.
Anytime. Always a pleasure. My main man, James D. Fiore. You can get him at blackballmedia.ca, at James D. Fiore on Twitter. Really appreciate you being here as well. Thank you.
Good to see you, Lachlan.
Good to see you, James.
By and
That was a good
large,
one today.
Great
Dean.
to see everybody. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Lachlan Cross, James D. Fiore, all part of the Dean Blundell show. Really happy they came today. Got to some things. We got to some things. It's hard to balance a guest-heavy show when you don't really want to have a guest. You kind of want to do content. Then you start doing content. You're like, we should have a guest. But we'll have a guest tomorrow. Jeff Woods will be here to do his bedtime stories, which we got in trouble for last time from YouTube. They said it wasn't a strike against us, but someone complained about the content. That's because some people have a giant stick up their asshole. Not me, though. My asshole is stick-free. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for being a part of the podcast. Don't forget to sign up for us and our newsletter at deanblundell.com. We'll send you all this stuff so you don't have to go looking for it. It's super, super easy. Sign up for podcasts, sports, news, whatever. You can take your pick and it'll just all arrive in your email. You don't want to be part of it, unsubscribe. We don't care. It's just free content. We like doing it for you, and hopefully you like it as well. Thanks to our friends over at Ed's Fine Imports. EdsFineImports.com has your Gitch. He has the world's best luxury underwear, boxer briefs, and I mean the best. I've tried them all. Sax, 2 Under. These ones are the best. Called Gitch. And right now, when you use promo code GITCH3, if you go to edsfineimports.com, you can order 4 pair for the price of 3. Guaranteed you'll love them. If you don't, send them back. I don't know if you get a refund, but it'd be funny for you to send some used Gitch back to Ed. You won't, though, because they're incredible. edsfineimports.com. Thanks to our friends at Blue Microphones, the official microphone of the DeanBlundell.com podcast network, now 32 strong, where you can check out our new F1 podcast. Not only do we have an F1 podcast, We're adding 3 new ones next week. But go there, have a look. There's something for everybody. We got podcasts from the guys at fucking A. We've got podcasts from guys down in Tampa Bay, the Beer League boys, absolute beauties. We've got the guys from PP1. If you're a Canucks fan, not going to make the playoffs, but don't worry about it. Don't even have a team. Can't even play. Too sick to play. So what you do is join us for our playoff pricks preview, which is going to be happening in the next week or so. That'll all be at deanblundell.com as well. Everything's happening. We can't stop everything from happening. Thanks to our friends at Easy Auto Financial as well. Easy Auto Financial, one-stop shop for you to get approved and go and get yourself a brand new vehicle. They match you up with someone who wants to sell you a car, and they pre-approve you for financing. Easy Auto Financial. Go there now. Tell them I said hi. Fill out your information. Credit problems, don't worry about it. They're the best subprime people in the entire country, and they'll make sure that you get yourself a car. EasyAutoFinancial.com. Go there today. Black Rose Organics. Put out a big post about Black Rose Organics. Listen, if you're a medical patient, medical cannabis, go to blackroseorganics.com. In fact, go to shop.blackroseorganics.com. $175 for an ounce of maybe some of the greatest garlic sherbet you've ever had, over 30% THC, so you know it works. And they've got a limited run, so if you port your medical license, great. Want a medical license? Sign up right on their website, shop.blackroseorganics.com. They got some JMO too, which is the garlic jelly. It's incredible. Craft cannabis. All hand cut, all hand grown, only crown buds. And their membership assistance program is incredible as well. Usually you pay like $300 for an ounce of medical cannabis. $175 for maybe some of the greatest gas you've ever had. They want to help you medicate, and they know how to do it. They know how to make effective medicine. They actually give a shit about the plant. They're not a publicly traded company. blackroseorganics.com or shop.blackroseorganics.com. They'll get your license, or you can take your license there. They'll take care of you. Tell them I said hi as well. I haven't seen them today. And that's pretty much it. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow, I guess. Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what? Fuck, I'm going to run. And I had bought a Speedo, more for comedy than anything. So clearly, I bought the Speedo that I didn't really wear very often. So I ran and I threw it on. She comes out of the bathroom.
What happened next?
Oh, that's the greatest joke.
Oh, we're done.